Jack of all trades, master of none. Sometimes you have to do that.
I know that well. That sums up my career as a player.
All right.
What we got, guys? Anything? Okay, thanks. Good to see you.
Bryce Petty, your thoughts? I've been adapting to a different style of offense than he was run before. Or?
You know, I thought they did a good job today working. I mean, we still got 2 more practices, you know, and you got the game. So there's still a lot of things to evaluate him on. But going under center, making huddle calls, you know, it was good to see all of those guys working on that.
Can you start to see some leadership traits come out by the end of practice, guys trying to line people up in the right spots, et cetera? Or?
Well, most of them are just trying to make sure they're getting in the right spots. But you see guys talking. I think that's one of the great things about coaching this is that you get a chance to see that on the field and you can see how these players interact.
How much of an advantage is it for you and your staff to be able to get hands-on and really talk to these guys?
I think it's a great opportunity for us because a lot of times you can watch the tape, but you don't know exactly what they're being told or what they're looking at. Now we're getting a chance to sit in the room, see how they interact, see how they handle when we're giving them the plays, how they're reacting to the defenses. So it's a great assessment for us of these guys.
Ken, Rustin's found a couple players in a Senior Bowl like this. I know it was the Bucs, Cadillac Williams, one of them. You expect to find a few guys that can make your roster?
Well, I think that's pretty much historically. We were doing a thing last night, and Gus Bradley stood up and was talking about it, and I guess they had 7 guys on their roster that were in the Senior Bowl. So, you know, where we are with our team, I think this is a great opportunity for us to see some players that can help us out.
Coach, how much would you have liked to have seen Marcus Mariota out here in the Senior Bowl?
Oh, it would have been great. I mean, I'm hopeful that he'll still show. He's still got a couple of days. As long as he gets here by the game, I think it would be great. But listen, when you've had the season that he's had and a lot of demands on him, you know, you understand that. But it would be great if he were to make it.
Did you proactively reach out to him at all, or his family?
Yeah, we talked. I didn't talk to Marcus himself, but you know, we tried to talk about what we were going to do. And once again, he's been real busy since the season's been over. So
really got to throw these guys in the fire from day one. How in depth does the game plan get throughout the week?
You're restricted in what you want to do because our coaches will probably try to give them too much. So yeah, we're trying to get that mix of making sure we test them enough, but not give them too much because there's so many obligations that they have in the community here, which I think is a great part of the Senior Bowl that's probably underrated. What they do, they're teaching these guys how important it is to give back to the community, and that's an important piece of it. So you know, you can't overload them, but they did a nice job today. They worked at it. You could tell that we didn't get out of meetings until after 11 last night, and back on the field early today. You can tell some of them stayed up studying it.
Noticed you working with the quarterbacks a lot today. Anything to read into that at all?
No, I mean I was working. I thought I was trying to spread it out all over the place, but no, I enjoyed working, seeing those guys, but. You know, I enjoyed looking at all the positions.
When you do look at the quarterbacks, this group as a whole and other guys maybe you're even watching on tape, how big a gap is there between where they are coming out of college and what NFL offenses are going to
You know what, I haven't really looked at a lot of the other guys. I've only looked at what I saw from these 3 guys today, and it's really too early to try to form any opinions about that. You know, just from where they've come from and what their style of offense is, trying to get them to do some of the things that we do. I thought they did a nice job today of trying to get there. What you want to see is progression through the week.
Is that the biggest challenge? It's the style of offenses in college where they might not be asked to take snaps under center, or they might not be used to having protection calls and all of those kind of things that you definitely will be asking your guys to do in the NFL.
Well, you know what, to be honest with you, I don't think it's any different from a lot of the positions. Okay, everybody wants to focus on the quarterback because rightfully so, it's a tough position, but there's always going to be an adjustment. Even when you change teams as an NFL player, there's an adjustment. So yeah, you know, taking snaps under center for some of these guys, they haven't done it. It takes some work, but yeah, when we had Ben in Pittsburgh, he hadn't taken snaps from under center, but he did a pretty good job. So I think you can work through those things, and that's part of the process you enjoy.
Other than evaluating,
that's really impressed you?
It's first day. We've got a couple more days yet before we'll be able to form any opinions about this.
Other than evaluating players, Ken, what else do you hope to get out of this in your staff?
Well, I mean, this is what this week's about. It is about evaluating these players, getting a feel for them, and how they can help your team out. With with the way the draft goes, just having extra information on these guys outside of what you can normally get at the combine or in workouts, it's invaluable for us. And you like to see them compete. You like to see what they're doing on the field. So that's one of the exciting things about it.
How much prep work were you able to do, get familiar with some of these guys, so it wasn't necessarily blind meeting 55 new players last night?
Well, you know what? I think our scouts did a good job. We had a meeting last week in Nashville where we went through the guys that were in the Senior Bowl and we talked about it. So we had a little bit of a preview. You know, it's a lot of guys, but you feel like you trying to get to know them over the course of the days, and that's one of the fun things about it.
Was Phil Savage able to give you kind of a hint at what guys might be on your roster before it was released to the public?
We had an idea with some of them, but I think Phil's been working hard on this thing for a couple of weeks now, and that's more than that, I'm sure. I mean, it's quite a process to get these guys here, and he did a great job with that. So, you know, it's changed. Things have you know, players have switched, they've even switched teams, but we had a good idea of who they were going to be, and we got a chance to prepare for most of them.